Hey guys, it's Matt. It's Friday, May 15th. I swear I was ready for this. Um, so, Green Day overall, it was a pretty emotional day for me just because honestly, I had a big red day on Wednesday, down like $20, which at this point was a big part of my account. But I just sized up and started taking 40 shares instead of 20 shares, and so that seems to be the way it goes. I was trying to win that back today, right? I was like, I wanted to. I was kind of chomping at the bit to get a good trade, and was waiting for some specific things. I was watching CODX out of the gate here, CODX, um, and didn't like this bounce here. I didn't think that was where we were going to get it. I think I was waiting for a pullback down to something lower around this pivot that I had drawn here. But anyway, we got a pull here off the new high. Um, Off that 21 area, and so I got filled around 2050, which you can see is pretty high up here, but I kind of felt like there was some support there. There wasn't, obviously, because we dropped down here uh, down to pretty low there. So anyway, I got out half at 2050, and then so I was in at 2050, got out half at 2050, half at 2060. So I mean, it ended up being a winner, but kind of a rough start to the day, and probably shook my confidence a little bit. Um, and then my second trade was here on BLIN, in at 240 here, and then you can see sat through another grind that went lower, and then just got out alive at 243. So that was a bad read there. I was kind of hoping we were setting up for some good support and then maybe a launch there. This thing ended up just tanking, I think, for the rest of the day. Yeah, and just a grind down below $2. It's ugly. And then I actually had some pretty good. There was some good action on Aurora Cannabis, which is a higher float stock, I think. But it was making some good runs, and so I got in here at 966. Again, it pulled back lower than that, down to the 50 level. Probably could have been a little more patient there, um, but then got out here, and this was another 40 share position. So in at 966, out at 977, which you can see, again, could have held that for more in hindsight, but pretty good trade. In fact, I think that ended up being my best one on the day. It was worth 450 altogether. Let's see. After that, then we did the whole SRNE mess. Let's see this. Come on. So I took a loss here. We had this pullback. I thought we were going to see support right at 5, especially with the 9 right there. Uh, I actually still like that entry looking back on it. Although, I mean, I guess I could have waited till the pivot here, but a lot of times, like when it dips below that whole dollar level, you see a bounce back up. Didn't happen this time. So I got in at 496 and then rode through here down to this pullback into the 70s, and it just looked ugly, looked really heavy. So when it popped up, I took some off. This is only a 20 share position. I took some off at 480 and some at 483. So I had been up before this trade. Had been up almost $7 on the day, and then I gave like 290 back here. So that was frustrating. That's where the emotional part kicked in. And I was like, God damn it! I should have just walked away and not taken this. For me, this is late in the day, right? Because I only trade typically the first hour. So then anyway, I sat through this chop and I hesitated on a couple things that maybe would have worked out, but it was just choppy. And then I finally ended up taking some positions here, and they were just little. I mean, you got 2 cents here. You got one here I had to double down on, but ended up pulling it out a slight winner there. Um, so on the name, I ended up being down 240. So I fought back a little bit there. I got back some of what I had lost. And then this CHK, popped up on the scanner, on my momentum scanner. It had been halted a couple times, which it didn't. I don't know if I think I just didn't notice it or didn't really. It was still low volume. You can see that the 1 minute charts is below. I like to see at least 100,000 shares in a minute before I start thinking about things. But it had been halted a couple times anyway, and then it got halted again here at was it like 12:12 or something like that. Um, we got a little pullback here. I got in at 12:16, out at 12:29. Good thing I did because it rolled over. I thought about taking a bounce here, but it got halted. And then I think I was done watching, but at this point, just because I didn't trust it anymore. I think if I remember correctly, yeah, it just kind of chopped around after that. Yeah, so that was my last trade of the morning. I did actually come back and take one trade later. So I went and took my dog for a walk and sat back down to this thing climbing up. So I jumped in with just 10 shares at 474. This is around 11 my time, so 2 something Eastern. Anyway, hopped in at 474 here. You can see it didn't go my way initially. This was a bad trade, and I actually said to myself, I'm not logging this trade no matter what happens. It ends up being a small winner. I took 2 cents off of this. That's basically break even, right? But I didn't log it because as I was doing it, I was like, I'm doing this just because I'm tired and I want something to do, and not really because it's a good idea. So anyway, I did it, and so I figured I'd talk about it here. So let's pull up Trader View. This is my cumulative P&L from back here in March when I started this kind of style of trading. So you can see the big loss here on Wednesday. Again, all of this is with 20 shares. Well, 20 being my max share size, and then stepped up to 40, took a loss. Per share, it wasn't even that bad of a loss, but on the P&L curve, it looks big because it's double the share size what I was trading before. And then we made some of that back today. Yeah, so that's where I'm at. It was like a 6. What was BXRX? 20 cents. Yeah, 660 was my P&L today. So with that in mind, then right now total my average per share is 0.02, so 2 cents per share. That's since the beginning. But again, that's taking a huge loss recently with a new share size. So I'm still in the process of opening an account with CMEG. They needed some more paperwork. They got back to me, and so took care of that yesterday. So hopefully by the start of June, we'll be doing that. I'll also be trading 5 days a week instead of 4. Right now I'm missing Thursdays, but the obligation I have Thursday mornings I'm cutting that loose starting in June. So I'll be able to trade every day, which I'm excited about. I love this stuff. So anyway, that's it. I'll be back at it Monday, and take it from there.